Hi guys, that's Hannah, I'm Chris, and we are Albion Creations.
Today we wanted to talk to you about weathering, specifically weathering foam props. Now weathering is a really good way of making a prop pop and adding a bit of realism to your cosplay. A lot of the times we don't want our props to be pristine, we want them to look well used, as if we just crawled into a dungeon and looted them from somewhere. Most of all, we want our props to tell a story. How old is it? Where did it come from? How recently was it used to someone? That sort of thing.
Now the first thing you need when weathering is a prop to weather. So we made an axe.
Ta-da!
This is the Dawnguard Axe from Skyrim.
Available on everything.
Everything, yeah. And let's show you what we did. We chose to weather this prop in 4 stages: battle damage, dirt, rust and blood. First, with the base of your prop, add some battle damage. This can be complex or simple, it's totally up to you. For the axe, we wanted it to look like it had been heavily used and caught on other weaponry, so a couple of chips in the blade as well as adding scratch marks to the head. We carved wooden relief lines into the handle and took a few notches out of the base. The axe is entirely foam with a PVC pipe core, so we just use an X-Acto knife to make the damage. You can also use a Dremel for this if you want for more rounded grooves. This is also a good time to check for seams that didn't quite connect as neatly as you wanted. You can add battle damage around them so it looks intentional and blends in. We also wanted to make the axe look a little bit old and decrepit, which makes sense when you consider the location of where the axe is found. Firstly, we used an acrylic wash and covered the wood and metal parts with it before wiping it off with a scrap of fabric. Really work the wash into the nooks and crannies and any battle damage you made in the first section, as it adds depth and provides contrast. Then, using a dry paintbrush and a very small amount of black or brown acrylic, we dry brush the handle, adding depth to the splits in the leather wrap and around the scratches in the metal. The axe head is likely either to be steel or iron, which means it's susceptible to rust. To get this effect, we used 2 tones of brown acrylic and dabbed them in specific areas. The great thing about weathering is you can use it to hide any flaws in your foam. While the paint is still wet, we sprinkled cinnamon and chili powder onto it, which gives a great 3D texture. There are other ways of doing rust. Kamui Cosplay did a great video on using real rust recently, but we had cinnamon close to hand. Pat the cinnamon into the paint and let it dry. Finally, blood effects. There are 2 schools of thought on blood, whether you want the blood to appear fresh or old. Because the paint will be drying, we went with an older blood style, which oxidizes to a reddish brown, rather than the bright red of fresh blood. Once again, using acrylics, we dabbed it onto some places where we thought the blood would land, and used an old toothbrush to create a splatter effect on others. On the blade of the axe, we rubbed a lot of the paint off, which left a nice dark stain, and splashes of blood effect in any divots. Remember, the paint will dry darker than you think. And so the axe went from relatively new to something that could have been used to take out ancient vampires. So anyway, I hope that helped. You can use these techniques on a variety of props. Just think about what story you're trying to tell. Has it been stored near water? Add more rust. Has it been heavily used? You might have more dents and scratches. You could have just pulled it straight from the battlefield and just need to add loads of blood.
We hope it helped. If there's any particular techniques you'd like to see us tackle, drop us a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you enjoyed us, hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks for our Morning Star from Castlevania video. Boop.